It is cold, so it's just that simple. I am going to continue wearing this because it's nice and warm and fluffy. Okay, we're coming to the end of November, and one thing that society is beginning to do is get ready for Christmas. Now, here in England, because of the weather that's upon us, we are cancelling things like Christmas lights and like the turn-ons or Christmas lights in certain towns because the weather is so bad, which I think is a bit of a shame. But we've got big storms coming through, high winds and, you know, things like that. So they've had to cancel some of the Christmas lights being turned on in some of the towns because of weather. But I don't really think it's that big of a deal. They'll still turn them on. They'll just turn them on a bit closer to Christmas, which is probably better anyway. You know, the reality is, the closer we get to Christmas, the more people seem to panic. You don't need to. And the more people seem to believe that if your child doesn't have loads and loads and loads of stuff, you've done something wrong as a parent. You haven't. Your children do not need hundreds of gifts, loads of stuff. You do not need to be spending your entire fortune, or lack of, on your children at Christmas. Okay, set a budget and stick to it. And do not let society, do not let other people, do not let other parents make you feel ashamed or embarrassed that you've set a budget. I mean, let's face it, anyone with more than one child, especially people with more than one child, I mean, let's face it, it's hard enough to get Christmas sorted for one child in this day and age. I mean, the amount of times I've struggled to even get my son's Christmas stuff sorted, it is insane. You know, there have been years where I've actually significantly struggled to even get him one or two things, and the budget's been so low that I've generally felt guilty. You know, and Christmas morning's come and he's opened like one present or two presents and he's been like over the moon and really happy. And I'm like, yes, you know. And that to me is all that matters. When he opens those presents and he's really happy and he's really excited and he's like, yeah, I've done something right. Because that is what matters as a parent. That what you buy them is what they want, is what they like. So they give you a Christmas list. That is the most important thing in the entire universe. Get your children to write a Christmas list. And when you look at that list, pay attention to a lot of the things. I mean, it's difficult when they're children, like under sort of 10. Under 10s are a lot easier to buy for because they want everything. And it's much easier to actually buy for them because they tend to have favourite characters, favourite things, set moments in time where you can go, oh, they really like this bit. They like this character, they like this programme, and it's really easy to buy for them. But don't go overboard. Don't need to go overboard. Set pyjamas, a nice top. Get your family and friends to buy them the clothes and the essential bits, you know, like the cups and the bowls and the, you know, cutlery sets with all their characters on them. Get your family and friends to do that, your family to do that, and then you focus on getting them one, maybe two of the actual toy sets that they really, that you believe in, that they would actually love to see, and you get them, and that's it, you're done. Everything else is not a problem. And I'll absolutely tell you one thing, that's all you need. get your family to buy clothes, and if you are one of those families who likes to do stockings, go to like pound shops, you know, yeah, go to the cheap shops, the 99p pound shops or whatever, and buy the tubes of sweets. Buy like 99p or pound toys, like little toys, you know, like toy cars or dolls or whatever your child is into. Buy a teddy bear if your child likes teddy bears, and put a piece of fruit in it on the morning. And that is all you need. You don't have to go overboard. It seems a bit silly to do things like that, but it's not a huge amount, but actually it's silly. And you can even get some of those little, you know, things but stocking fillers are stocking fillers, and you can choose little things to go in them. Obviously, they're the kind of things I would buy for him in little stockings. He liked like teddy bears in his stocking fillers because he loves teddy bears. You know, so I put little stocking, like tiny little bears in his stocking fillers, you know, because that's what my son liked. And, you know, I would switch between dolls and a car that I'd put in his when he was growing up because he liked both of those as well, you know, and they were cheap, you know, and they'd be ruined within the next few months because, you know, they're kids, you know. But that's the kind of things I would do when he was little, you know. But the thing is, though, you don't need to go overboard. There is nothing in the world that says that as a parent we need to spend thousands on our children at Christmas, especially considering Christmas isn't really ours. It is a pagan celebration of the winter solstice. It's to do with it's nothing to do with, I mean, the Pope sort of took it over and turned it into this big celebration of Jesus' birth, but Jesus was born sort of end of September, beginning of October, because that's when the shepherds would have been out tending their fields. You know, I mean, we celebrate Christmas as a way to celebrate Jesus' birth, but that's been lost as well over the years. You know, understanding that it's not actually a Christian or a Catholic thing anyway, and it's been turned into a commercial holiday rather than an actual religious one, is kind of sad. It's gone from being a celebration of the winter solstice and a very pagan, you know, celebration to a one taken over by the Pope and turned into a religious celebration of Jesus's birth, which would never have happened in December because it would have only happened in September, October, when the actual shepherds would have been tending their fields, you know, which has actually been proven because the only time the shepherds would have been out in the fields tending their flocks would have been around the end of September and in October, because they never would have been outside at any other time of the year. So it's been proven that he could have only been born either around the end of September, beginning of October, sort of October time. So there's no way on the face of this earth he would have been born at any other time of the year. So end of September, October-ish kind of time. So, yeah. When the shepherds were out. But regardless of all of that, it's now gone from being a religious celebration to a commercial one, which is really, really sad. And anybody that tells you that their child would not be happy with a few little presents and a few little things and not getting, and would be really unhappy if they got, you know, a few clothes and cutlery and stuff, and like cups and plates with their favourite animals and their favourite things on it. Any parent that says that to you, tell them that they've done something wrong. If your child is not going to be happy with something like that, if they are actually not happy getting something like that, if they can't be that grateful, if your child is so ungrateful that they cannot just accept the fact that they're getting something with their favourite things on, they've done something wrong. And now I've got to go because my son wants me. I'll speak to you later. Bye.